Wait a minute. So those same three groups control all those media outlets? Fox News and CNN? Oh,
I like his clothes.
now it makes sense why they fired Tucker Carlson.
We Lie to You News.
Good evening
I've
and
seen
welcome
that
to We Lie to You News, where we do real journalism. Oh, are these the talking points from Soros and Murdoch? Tonight we've got quite the lineup, including Tucker Carlson being fired by Fox. Something fishy is going on, and we'll show you the fish. Also, an update on Bud Light's rather successful sales prevention strategy. Biden.
This guy's good. I like him.
Officially announces he's running for re-election, and SpaceX successfully launches the world's largest rocket ship into an explosion. But first,
I saw that the SpaceX rocket blew up or something. That kind of sucks.
starting with Tucker Carlson. With by far the most popular news show in the country, with over 3.5 million nightly viewers, Fox.
Dude, think about that. 3.5 million viewers. That's like he's probably getting like 200K concurrents on that. Probably more because it's a short show. That's nuts. A night, yeah. Bro, people watch that like crazy.
Has decided to fire Tucker Carlson in a move that makes just as much sense as a team cutting their MVP quarterback. People are left wondering why. As immediately upon firing, Fox's stock value dropped by more than $1 billion. Well,
holy shit. Fox shares slide as Tucker Carlson exits. News company erases more than $500 million in market value. Oh, fuck.
$1 billion. Well, there are 5 possible reasons why Fox has decided to proactively reduce its viewership. Let's start with the most likely possibility. The vice president of marketing for Bud Light, who oversaw the Dylan Mulvaney ad campaign, which produced the impressive results of a $7 billion drop in company value, along with
$7 billion? Holy fuck. Is it still that bad? That is bad, but it was below that here.
with a 17% drop in sales, was recently put on leave. And Fox's move of firing Tucker Carlson leaves speculation that the Bud Light VP of marketing may have been hired by Fox and on her first day on the job said, "How can I produce just as good of results for Fox as I did for Bud Light?" Well, the best thing we can do is fire the person who brings in the most viewers. Though this story has yet to be substantiated, it would actually explain everything. But
well, yeah, I think that's about as much research as most news organizations do. I feel like the real reason, though, like I'm just going to say right now, I think the real reason is because of that fucking Dominion lawsuit. Like, I actually don't think it had anything more to do than that. It's that simple.
What are the other possible reasons for why Fox fired Tucker Carlson?
Great.
Well, to help understand them, first, let's take a look at this chart. As you can see, the 3 groups at the top control all the major media outlets. While it would appear that Fox is in opposition to CNN, this chart shows they are controlled by the same people. And that would mean Fox isn't meant to be opposite.
It's hard to say whether this is actually true because there's a lot of firms that control funds that don't actually make any decisions on like what the companies that they're controlling the funds for them are doing. So like this obviously like it's going to be very hard to sell this point of view because most people don't really understand it. And then on top of that, it makes them, because whenever people see a chart like that, it makes them feel like they're smart, you know, because you see this chart and you're like, oh, now I can see where the real Illuminati is. But does this really mean, if they're still owned by these companies, does this really mean that they're trying to, you know, produce news in this way? I don't know. Because they're like, the truth is that if you go up high enough, a very surprisingly few amount of companies own a very surprisingly large amount of things.
In addition to CNN, it would suggest that they're meant to be controlled opposition to CNN. And as you'll see in a moment, Tucker Carlson has proven to be uncontrollable opposition to the globalists who want to control everything.
That's true.
AKA,
I've seen this guy right here. If you think this guy isn't real, look at the back of your dollar bill. He'll be right there, front and center.
Everything. AKA, he's a dangerous extremist inciting violence who must be silenced. Right, AOC?
And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence.
The inconvenient truth of this chart helps explain a rather large coincidence.
Isn't that against the law, though, right? I mean, so like, couldn't they? I mean, if you're going on TV and inciting violence, can't they just arrest them or like hold them accountable or something like that? I don't know. Like, I would say that, like, in general, inciting violence is definitely where I draw the line. Did Tucker Carlson do that? I'll be honest. I didn't watch a lot of Tucker Carlson, so it's hard for me to say. But what I have seen is that a number of times there are people who have said that a person is promoting violence or inciting violence, and I've watched the clip. I don't agree with them. I don't think that they are.
CNN happened to fire Don Lemon on the exact same day that Fox fired Tucker Carlson.
Equivalent
this coincidence
exchange.
has nothing to do with the same three groups controlling both CNN and Fox orchestrating the firing of Carlson and Lemon on the same day to help wash the suspiciousness of silencing Carlson off their hands. As Lemon objectively deserved to be fired after a series of demotions due to hilariously low levels of viewership, and after having been on leave due to ageist comments, letting Tucker's firing blend in.
Ageist comment? What the hell are you talking about, ageist comments? Did he say old people were stupid?
To the trash that deserves to be thrown out suggests to people
he did.
There's nothing to see here. This just in! CNN
Boomer
fired
bashing.
a gay black man. Interpreting this through the lens of CNN's own narrative, this must mean that CNN hates gay people and black people. But back to Fox firing the most watched news anchor in the world. This all begs the question, would the unseen powers that be, that you can see right here on this chart, be willing to sacrifice the loss of millions of viewers who are Tucker Carlson fans, not Fox News fans, just to protect their agenda? And sacrifice the lost ad revenue that comes with a drop in viewership? Isn't money too important to them? The answer is yes. They would be willing to sacrifice the money if something was more important to them than money. What might that be?
The globalist agenda to turn everybody into a slave for the reptilian overlords. Or more money. Yeah, that's a good point too.
Their agenda. Tucker Carlson makes them a lot of money, but is a threat to their agenda. And their actions demonstrate an act of protecting their agenda, even at the expense of sacrificing money.
I think that what's going to end up happening, and like you're already seeing this happen a lot, is that once enough people get pushed out of the mainstream space, there's enough of them to create their own space to where it actually can be its own ecosystem. And you saw that kind of with like Andrew Tate. And I think the first main person to have that happen was Alex Jones. And now that there have been, if like once enough people get deplatformed, they can just make their own platform. And I think that we're seeing that happen. The change is happening. Yeah, it's happening right now.
What is their agenda? Well, if you look at how we're building back better so well, you'll see what their agenda is.
What is it?
Additional reasons why Fox would have fired Tucker Carlson? January 6th. The agenda that shall not be named had a very important narrative to it.
Imagine if they had a character like in fucking Honkai Star Rail, they had January 6th and September 11th in the fucking game. Like, whenever I read her name, that was the only thing I was thinking of. Like, imagine if they had January 6th in the game, and it was just, like, some fucking, like, super redneck guy that, like, is just rambling about some dumbass shit, like the QAnon. Like, that would be so fucking funny to me. I would love that. Yeah, with a Viking helmet on. Yeah, there you go.
which rhymes with insurrection. That narrative helps paint a known threat to the establishment, President Trump, in a negative light. But a month ago, never-before-seen security footage of J6 was released to Tucker Carlson and his team. He proceeded to publish some of that footage that showed the Buffalo Shaman and others peacefully perusing through the Capitol, being escorted by police, and even having the police...
I don't know really why this is like such a hard concept for people to understand. Like, maybe this is going to make a lot of people mad, but I'm going to give my opinion on it. I think protesting in front of the Capitol is totally fine, but going inside the Capitol and messing stuff up and going into people's offices, this seems really problematic and bad. And it doesn't matter if people on some of the security cameras appeared peaceful. The truth is that stuff got stolen, things got messed up, etc. And like that doesn't just happen whenever you have a bunch of random people go in there. So yeah, I think January 6th was an L. I do. I think it was an L. And, like, and I said the same thing about, like, people that were doing, like, all those, like, you know, those protests and shit. It was a riot. Like, a lot of those were riots. Like, they're burning down buildings and shit. I thought both of these things were really bad. I don't support either one of them. They're awful. And I don't know why people, like, they go through such lengths. They're doing, like, mental gymnastics to justify why destroying other people's property is somehow morally justified because they're aggrieved by the system enough. Yeah, any riot is an L. Yeah, I mean, the moment that you're taking stuff out of the building, you're breaking things, you're knocking things over, because, like, I think that it's very obvious, like, the January 6th thing probably was not just this massive riot where, like, everybody was getting shot. I mean, this wasn't like the Revolutionary War. But that doesn't mean that there were not negative things that happened. And yeah, I think like the police should be the ones held accountable for this a lot too. But like both of these things are bad. I don't know why people try so hard to deny what's obvious. It's annoying to me.
Open doors for them. Therefore, Tucker Carlson is a threat to the January 6th narrative, which poses a major threat to their agenda. Next reason. Tucker Carlson platforms Trump. Several weeks ago, Tucker Carlson did a sit-down interview.
If Trump wins again, I honestly don't know what's going to happen. But you know what I think is going to happen? Nothing. Just like the first time. Nothing's going to happen. He's going to do his 4 years. There's going to be a lot of drama. At the end of the 4 years, Hillary's not going to be in jail. Joe's not going to be in jail. Nobody is going to be in jail. The wall's not going to be built. And nothing's going to change. That's what I really think. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think it's going to be some, like, it's not going to be probably some massive super disaster, and it's probably not going to be some, you know, reckoning where the patriots finally take back control from the globalist elite. I just think it's going to be 4 years of the same shit. It's my opinion. The only people that are going to win are the fucking news people, because, oh my God, there's nothing better for the news than if Trump wins again. Who won't even win the nomination? I think Trump will win the nomination. I do. I think so. I didn't think so originally, but like the DeSantis Disney thing made DeSantis look bad, I think, in the eyes of most people. And a lot of people like Disney. And then also Trump got like indicted, and it makes him like a martyr. And you have like, oh, big surprise. Like, so you have a whole culture of people and like a voting block of people, and like a massive percentage of them are religious, and their main religious icon is some sort of a martyr like Jesus. Like the imagery is there, like it plays right into itself. That's what's going to happen. I think Trump will get it again. Then Trump drama farming? Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Who's Judas? Mike Pence.
which aired
Obviously.
on Fox, President Trump spoke his mind rather eloquently to the Fox viewers, raising many concerns about the agenda that is currently venomizing America. Then consider that Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox, had previously said he will not support Trump's bid for re-election, nor will Fox News. And Tucker Carlson was unfaithful to that agenda with his journalism. Next reason.
Yeah, I think that's probably true, right? I mean, if the guy that runs the company doesn't want to do that, then yeah, that's definitely definitely a problem for sure. I mean, again, if Fox News and CNN, if they don't want to cover the things that people want to see, people will just look somewhere else. And you're already seeing this happen, where like mainstream news has tried to kind of like keep things out of sight and out of mind. And at a certain point, people just go somewhere else to find their news. Because like it's a matter of like degree. And if you push it too far, then people leave.
Fox was recently ordered to pay nearly $800 million in a settlement with the good people at Dominion for raising suspicious questions about their suspicious systems. Tucker Carlson was not one of the people speaking out against what we're not allowed to talk about. Therefore, we at the media are trying to sweep his firing under that rug because we think.
By the way, I'm not really a big, like, I don't know a lot about the Dominion stuff. Like, I voted, if you want my hot take on the election is, I think the only evidence for it to being rigged is the fact that it was so close. I expected Trump to lose by a landslide. A massive amount. I was shocked that he did not lose by an even larger amount. Like, after COVID and everything, like, because the thing is, everybody thought it was his fault for COVID. A lot of people thought that. Millions, tens of millions of people thought that it was his fault. And yeah, like, I was surprised it was so close. I do find it to be annoying now that every election that will happen from now on will be rigged.
I think you're dumb enough to fall for it. And if you are dumb enough to fall for it, that means you won't be asking any more questions. So it was probably this one. And the final possible reason why Fox fired Tucker Carlson is because in recent weeks, he had a guest on his show, presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Like a fascist, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. stands against tyranny and therefore has been widely outspoken
Was this
against.
the guy? Was this the dude that said that COVID was as fake as Kim Kardashian's ass? Or was that another guy? No? Okay, that was somebody else? All right, I thought so. Yeah. I didn't know if it was him or not. Yeah.
The corruption in the government with their corporately captured agencies. And he's been rather outspoken against the Nuremberg Code violating pharmaceutical companies. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been enough of a threat to the establishment and their agenda that he even earned a place on Biden's list of top 12 spreaders of misinformation online.
What's this here? 12 influencers are behind most anti-vax hoaxes on social media, surprising research reveals. I find it to be very funny that a politician is referred to as an influencer in the same way that somebody who plays Fortnite is. I think that is fucking hilarious.
List of top 12 spreaders of misinformation.
Yeah, Pfizer did this research, by the way. Yeah, guys, totally. I don't know.
Online. Then when you consider that approximately 75% of Fox News revenue comes from pharmaceutical advertisements, you can imagine that there's simply nothing to see here. There never is. On the day of Tucker's firing, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. posted this thought on Twitter, which the establishment originally had him deplatformed from, but unfortunately, Elon gave him his voice back. Fox fires Tucker Carlson 5 days after he crosses the red line by acknowledging that the TV networks pushed a deadly and ineffective to please their pharma
You can't
advertisers.
say it on Twitter or on YouTube because sometimes they'll block it.
You buy Pfizer. Sponsored by Pfizer. Buy Pfizer. 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 Pfizer.
Carlson's breathtakingly
I think that they made a mistake by banning everybody who thought the vaccines were fake. Because I think that what happened is that now everybody believes that they were fake because there was such a concerted effort to remove people that said that they weren't. Or said that they were. It created the opposite effect. Yeah, they gave it a voice. Yeah, it's like once people get shut down enough for talking about it, other people will perceive that as in like, oh, well, they're talking about it, and that means that it's true. Yeah, Streisand effect. Yeah, I think that's what ended up happening.
outrageous April 19th monologue broke TV's two biggest rules. Tucker told the truth about how greedy pharma advertisers controlled TV news content, and he lambasted obsequious newscasters for promoting jobs they knew to be lethal and worthless. For many years, Tucker has had the nation's largest audience, averaging 3.5 million viewers, 10 times the size of CNN. Fox just demonstrated the terrifying power of big pharma.
Well, it's just money, really. CNN only gets 350,000 views. That's less than Ludwig. Like, every video Ludwig does gets more than that. What the fuck are they doing? How do they make any money? It's just, what the how is it even possible? TV channels are dying? Yeah, I wonder why. Jesus.
In response to these extremist views of Kennedy, I say, can't we just get him deplatformed and silenced again? Oh yeah, Elon does the whole free speech thing now. That's so unconstitutional. Which brings up the bonus reason.
A lot of people are very upset about Elon not banning people from Twitter. I think that it's been better that nobody gets banned from Twitter now because you have dumbass people and you can see that they're dumb. I think being able to see that somebody's a dumbass and see them get community noted where they're pushing some fucking agenda. I remember there was one guy, he made a tweet and it was about how the moon landing was fake, and it was a Mid-Journey AI video or a picture of Stanley Kubrick on the moon in a Hollywood fucking studio. But it was made with AI, and this dude posted it as if it was fucking real. And it's the best thing for everybody to see is how fucking wrong he is. Not shutting him up, to see how fucking wrong he is.
Tucker's firing.
Hilarious.
He also recently had Elon Musk on his show. A man who has earned his rightful place in the crosshairs of the establishment as their agenda necessitates the abolishment of freedom of speech. Now, which of these reasons, aside from all of them, contributed to Fox firing Tucker Carlson? Well, obviously the answer is none of them. Because Fox's statement says that they agreed to part ways, while an insider on Tucker Carlson's team says no, they absolutely fired him. But we think it's most accurate to go with the
I think they probably just got rid of him because of the lawsuit. It's that simple.
A statement by a globalist-controlled, pharma dollars-fueled corporation. So the reason why Tucker Carlson is no longer on Fox News is because they mutually agreed to part ways. And for Tucker Carlson's future, whether he starts his own media company or joins forces with another outlet that allows journalism that destroys America by destroying our agenda to destroy America, we look forward to seeing what Tucker does next. He'll obviously fail because nobody can succeed without being corporately controlled. And of course, nobody wants to watch Tucker, as evidenced by his 3.5 million nightly viewers. And
even the video that he did on Twitter, the Tucker Carlson video on Twitter, let me see if I can find this. It actually got a crazy amount of views. Let me see. This was nuts. Look at this shit. 79 million views. 79 point, almost 80. What the fuck, dude? That is insane. Holy shit. I had no idea there were that many people that watched him. Wow's up? Yeah, I'll look at it after this.
Other news, people in Ukraine are rejoicing while Americans are depressed over Joseph R. Biden officially announcing that he'll be running for re-election in 2024. And to shield the public from all things Biden, the DNC has also announced they will not be holding any primary debates. Lucky for his opponents, because I'm sure Joe and his track record would have...
Wait, what?
Biden, the DNC has also announced they will not be holding any primary debates.
Is that true? The DNC plans no primary debates, as though there are no other candidates, no other ideas we should discuss about ways to win in 24, or other ideas we should discuss about ways to repair the country. Too many people are too smart to accept this. Is this really true or not? Let me see. Well, it doesn't appear the Democratic Party will organize any primary debates to help its 2024 presidential candidate. This is the norm when an incumbent from either major party is seeking re-election. Thus, it is misleading to claim that the party has moved to cancel debates, firstly because it had none scheduled, secondly because the Democrats are acting within an established precedent. I do think they should have debates. I do. I feel like the Joe Biden like saying a bunch of like random shit, like not understanding what he's saying. I mean, he looks like he's lost half the time. I mean, this is like the emperor's new clothes. Let's just call it for what it is. Yeah, 100%. Like they should have debates. And if he can run again, he could probably win the debates, right? No problem.
Lucky for his opponents, because I'm sure Joe and his track record would have performed very well. When you start degrading election integrity by manipulating the public's perception via withholding the candidates from openly debating, you know you have nothing to worry about. Nowhere else doesn't allow primary debate.
Somebody brought the point up, which is very accurate in chat, that Trump didn't have any primary debates in 2020. Were there a lot of people trying to challenge Trump? It's hard to say. And usually, yeah, I remember, like, it's not like we had any Democrat debates in 2012, right? So, I don't know. I think with Biden, it's a little bit more unique.
Russia, China, North Korea, and Venezuela. And lastly, Elon took a break from trying to destroy democracy by trying to preserve free speech in order to launch the world's largest rocket ship into space. In a rather expensive fireworks display, the rocket never reached space as it exploded shortly after takeoff, which proves space is fake, there is no moon, and the Earth is flat.
I knew it.
That's it for tonight's news. Based on Tucker Carlson's stellar performance and top ratings, he obviously deserved to be fired because he wasn't doing a good job. It has nothing to do with his pursuit of truth and reality being a threat to a globalist agenda.
That's on
because
the dollar
remember,
bill.
Don Lemon was fired on the same day. These things just happen. Don't ask any questions. And be warned what will happen to you if you step out of line too. Good night. After only 5 minutes of using Magnesium Breakthrough, I've lost 75 pounds of fat, put on 10 pounds of intelligence, and achieved complete enlightenment. I'm just kidding, but Magnesium Breakthrough is absolutely an integral part of my health and fitness journey. The top 2 reasons why I love Magnesium Breakthrough the most.
I think one thing with this is it's kind of odd whenever you have like a video that goes through and talks about how big pharma is bad, and then you have an ad about a pharmaceutical. It is, you know, like, it's kind of hard to believe this kind of stuff. I don't know.
Number 1, it helps solve my problem of stress. I used to find all my stress would accumulate, and that could be anxiety, poor peace of mind, stress from relationships, work, what's going on in the world, responsibilities. But I found using Magnesium Breakthrough throughout the day helps solve that problem by helping me get rid of my stress and giving me more happiness, peace of mind, and relaxation. Because not many people know that at a nutritional level, magnesium is very potent at helping reduce stress. But you got to have all 7 potent forms of magnesium. And that's exactly what Magnesium Breakthrough delivers. The second reason why I love Magnesium Breakthrough so much is because I take my health, fitness, and energy very seriously.
So do I.
But when you're not dissipating your stress regularly, you've got elevated stress hormones in your system, and that tells your body to store body fat, burn muscle, and gives you low peace of mind. And after regularly using Magnesium Breakthrough, I've noticed a difference. And if you'd like to give Magnesium Breakthrough a chance to see how it works for you, for reducing your stress, giving you more peace of mind and a balanced body, just go to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/JP and use the discount code AWAKEN. And our friends at Bioptimizers
My mom used to always
will
order
take
this kind of
good
stuff.
care of you.
I've always been like super afraid to take any sort of medicine at all. Like, I mean, the odds are like it might work for some people, it might not work for others. I think that's for a lot of things. I'm just like, I'm so weird about like taking medicine and shit. It's not medicine. Yeah, it's natural. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are natural that you probably shouldn't be taking too, though, right? I mean, like, isn't arsenic natural? Like, I don't know. There's plenty of things that are natural that are not good. Mercury, yeah, mercury is natural. I probably shouldn't be taking that. So, I'm very much like weird about taking medicine. Terrible example. Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. Like, again, I get worried about this kind of stuff. I do think in the video, like, he brought up like some okay points overall. I'm not sure exactly, like, just because these large companies have like subsidiaries, this means that the large companies are calling the shots at those companies that they have subsidiaries of. Like, for example, BlackRock owns like everything, right? Why do they own everything? It's because they just have investments in it. It doesn't mean they're making decisions and telling them what to do every day. But it also doesn't mean that they're not either. It's just, I don't think that there's enough evidence to be certain of that. I also think that, you know, in terms of like challenging status quo, I think Tucker Carlson probably did that more in the past like year than he had before then in terms of like towing, I guess, like the traditional Republican line. So yeah, I could see how that probably would make sense. But I think the main reason why Tucker Carlson got fired was probably because of the lawsuit that cost Fox almost $1 billion. And I think also a reason why didn't Dominion not take them all the way to court? And I think maybe one of the reasons for that is because they said they would have fired Tucker Carlson. I think that very much there is a chance that the reason why it didn't go, yeah, it got settled. I think the reason why it got settled, Tucker Carlson very much could have been the sacrificial lamb. That is the simplest answer in my mind. I don't know, but that's what makes the most sense. Yeah, he told the truth and paid the price. Well, Fox News, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do, right? As a condition of the settlement. Yeah, I think that's very, very likely. Baseless conjecture? Sure, it's baseless conjecture. So is this. It's all baseless conjecture. Like, we don't know what the fuck is going on. We have no idea. I'm just guessing.